And welcome back, guys, to another exciting reaction. In today's video, we're gonna be finding out or looking into why do you guys think that men love beaches? Why do men love beaches and hoes? First of all, you know that a lot of these men, they normally speak bad or speak ill about those beaches and hoes, but at the end of the day, they really want to have or go out with these bitches or these the so-called bad girls, because at the end of the day they know that these bad girls or these bitches and hoes, they are going to straighten them up, they are going to take them at the right time, because the so-called good girls, there's nothing they're going to bring on the table, there's nothing they're going to offer to them. So most of these men, they normally want these bitches and hoes. So let's go straight into this video and try to find out.
This is why men love hoes. Don't listen to this if you don't want to know how guys actually think. I want you to imagine you wake up from a nap at 8 p.m., like out of a deep sleep, and you're just wiping crust out of your eyes, and suddenly you realize that you're starving, like starving, the hungriest you've ever been. You need something to eat ASAP. So you run downstairs to your kitchen and you realize there is no food in your fridge, like nothing to eat. So you decide to yourself that you're gonna hop in your car and go grab something to eat. When you hop in your car, you take with you $100 cash. So you've got $100 cash to go spend to eat anywhere. But remember, you're starving, like you need food now. It's 8 p.m. at night, so you've got a lot of different options to choose from. But for the sake of this example, let's narrow it down to 2 options. Tonight, you can either go to the McDonald's right across the street, which is a 2-minute drive. You can go through the drive-thru and have your food in less than 10 minutes. Or you can get in your car and drive an hour away to a 5-star restaurant that has great food, amazing food, satiating food, the best food you've ever had, but it's an hour away. And it's not just that it's an hour drive away and you're starving, but it also requires you to dress up. It requires you to get a reservation. You gotta look nice. You gotta take a shower. You gotta do all these extra things to show up at the 5-star restaurant. Even though you have the money, even though you have the ability to go to the 5-star restaurant, because you're hungry and McDonald's is close and convenient, you go to McDonald's. 99 times out of 100, you're gonna choose McDonald's just because of the convenience alone. That doesn't mean that there isn't a time and place for the 5-star restaurant. All it means is that when it is time for the 5-star restaurant, it will have been a day you planned, been a day that's been on your schedule for days, if not weeks, and it will be something you prepare for both mentally and physically. And when you go to that 5-star restaurant, you will present the best version of yourself at that 5-star restaurant. You don't care what you look like going to McDonald's. You don't care what you smell like. You don't care if your teeth are brushed. You don't care if there's crust in your eyes. You going to McDonald's because it's just about the food, and then it's over. Hoes or McDonald's? His future wife is the 5-star restaurant.
Men do not want the good girl. They don't want the nice girl. They don't want the cool girl. They don't want the woman that gives them a peace of mind. They want women that stress them the fuck out. The woman that keeps them sitting on the edge of their seat. Mysterious, unpredictable, self-centered, has an exciting life, doesn't need him. And that's the reason whenever you see a man that cannot move on from that one woman in his life, that one ex-girlfriend, they will always say, she was the crazy one. They love the crazy ones. Because they trigger their masculine instinct to problem solve, to lead, to stay active in a relationship. The masculine instinct to compete with their own mind to still make that woman theirs. The women that are crazy, unbothered, and have an exciting life on their own, men are so intrigued by because they compete with that woman's happiness. They don't compete with other men. They literally compete with that woman's life satisfaction. It's so intriguing to them because they desperately want that woman's approval since she's so unbothered. The good girl, the woman that gives them a peace of mind, is the placeholder. Sometimes they end up in relationships with them. Sometimes they end up marrying them, only to keep an eye out for the future wife because the good girl is convenient. Of course, they're gonna say they want the cool girl, the chill girl, just because they know it's not as much work for them. They know with a woman like that, he could stay out at the pub until 3 a.m., get home drunk, hungover the next day, and she would let him get away with it. With the good girl, he is the center of the marriage. With the good girl, he is the center of attention. He can now come and go as he pleases. He could come home at 3 a.m. after he was spending the whole day at the pub drinking with his guy friends and still gets home to a cooked meal because she loves him so much. But he doesn't stay with the good girl because he loves her so much. He stays with the good girl because it is convenient. Men are obsessed with self-centered bitches. Why? Because this type of woman doesn't.
Exactly. Men don't want the good girls. They want the bitches, they want the horns, they want those bad girls because it's actually convenient for them. Because on the other hand, if these good girls, these men stay with the good girls because it's just for convenience. But on the other hand, when he needs something urgent, or they actually really love this kind of women, these the so-called bad girls or the bitches, because they know that most of these ladies or most of these women, they can go out, do anything they want. They can even go to the bars, come back at 3 a.m. in the morning, and no one is there to ask them. They come back, do their own stuff, enjoy their life. And this is the kind of girl that these men want. But for convenience, they'd rather go for that good girl. But on the other hand, they prefer the bitches and the whores.
Take his freedom away. They're not needy, they're not desperate, they're not boxing their men in to the point where he's thinking, oh my god, get her away from me. Now sit down, this is gonna be a masterclass video, so get your pencils out, get your notebooks and papers out. I'm gonna explain to you why men love bitches and why you need to stop being needy and desperate. The difference between the needy, desperate woman, the loyal golden retriever, and the ultimate femme fatale black cat is that the woman that is unbothered, the black cat energy, is okay with the space between him and her. She doesn't all of a sudden jump when he says jump. She stays focused on her. He could do whatever the fuck he wants because she knows he will always eventually come back right next to her. If you are needy, you are not comfortable with the space between you two. He is leaving for work. You're calling him. How's your day going, honey? Oh my god, how are you feeling? Have you slept well? Have you eaten? Have you taken your protein shake? He's going out to the pub with the boys. Hey, honey, I just want to make sure when you're coming home, I already made the bed for you. I've also got our favorite movie on. Just about the mental attention energy that you give him. Men can sense when you are needy, when you're desperate, and when you're anxious because you cannot live without them. You cannot stay comfortable in his absence. You cannot hold your own because wherever he goes, you keep an eye out and you want to come his way. Where the unbothered ice queen, his dream girl, okay, the ultimate femme fatale, couldn't care less. She's over here doing her own thing, and no matter where he's floating around in the universe on this planet, she knows he will come back to her because she has something that he wants. She is independent out of the outcome of the relationship. She's not attached to him, and therefore he wants to come her way even more. If you want a more in-depth explanation, you can click the link in my bio. For $50, you get access to my online course where I explain everything I just given away, even more detailed, and give you in-depth solutions and strategies how to make him obsessed with you. Much love, have a great day. Men fall in love with inconvenient women. Men marry inconvenient women. Men run away with inconvenient women. Because let me tell you this, some of you are watching this and you've been cheated on, even though you've been married for years, you've bent over backwards, you've done everything for your man. How could he do this to me? Oh my god, he ran away with somebody else. He did not love you and appreciate you for the things you did for him, for all the convenience, for the reassurance, for giving him everything. What makes me so sure in saying this? Well, why did he run away with somebody who never did anything for him in the first place? And that's because, back to my point, men don't appreciate women or suddenly fall in love with them or suddenly have this huge sexual desire and interest and spark again because the woman does so much for him. Every time clients come to me and say to me, oh my god, he left me, he betrayed me, he cheated on me, even after all these years, I've done everything for this man. What did I do wrong? Exactly that. You just said it yourself. You did everything for this man. That is exactly why it went wrong. When you as a woman do everything for your man, you clean, you cook, not even just household chores or anything else around the house or the children. That's something different, it's motherhood, whatever. Let's even park that on the side. But even just the emotional support, giving him money, always checking in with him, making sure that his needs are met, that he is the one that has a good night's sleep, that he is the one that has eaten, that he's the one that isn't too stressed from work. Whenever you do that as a woman, you're giving yourself up and all your entire emotional, mental energy and focus is on him. And he does not appreciate it. Why? Because men love feminine women. When you always check in with him and you take leadership and control of everything in your entire relationship, even dinner dates, you're planning it, you're the one always doing the doing part, he has no part in your relationship or marriage because you are the masculine part. You are the doing part. You forgot what it feels like for him to meet your needs, for him to come your way, for him to maybe clean and cook every now and then too, or maybe get somebody around the house who can help with that, for him to take you out to dinner dates, for him to check in with you, for him to reach out first. You don't even know what that feels like anymore. That triggered some sort of anxiety in you that maybe you're drifting apart and you're distancing from each other. So you do even more for him and you're overcompensating for him to finally recognize your worth.
So there's a few videos going around of people saying men don't love bitches. You don't have to be a bitch to get a man. And although I understand the sentiment, it started to get on my nerve because this idea of men loving bitches comes from a book, Why Men Love Bitches by Sherry Argov. And in the book, she describes that when she says the word bitch, she's not talking about a rude, nasty woman. Let me actually read to you what she describes a bitch as. She writes, "Certainly I'm not recommending that a woman have an abrasive disposition. The woman I'm describing is kind yet strong. She has a strength that is ever so subtle. She doesn't give up her life and she won't chase a man. She won't let a man think he has 100% hold on her, and she'll stand up for herself when he steps over the line. She uses her femininity to her advantage. It isn't that she takes undue advantage of men because she plays fair. She has one thing that the nice girl doesn't, a presence of mind, because she isn't swept away by romantic fantasy. This presence of mind enables her to wield her power when it is necessary. In addition, she has the ability to remain cool under pressure, whereas a woman who is too nice gives and gives until she is depleted. The woman with presence of mind knows when to pull back. The fact of the matter is, men do like a bitch like this. We've all had moments in our younger years where we were emotionally reactive, too nice, and let a man walk all over us, did everything he claimed he wanted, and still weren't successful. Men do respect someone who stands their ground, doesn't give up their own life for them, and someone they have to chase. It is okay to be that type of bitch.
Ladies, it's true. Men love bitches. They fall in love with bitches. I'm serious. You think I'm joking. I'm not. Because here's what you're not understanding. You could give a guy wifey qualities from the jump. You could be the nice, affectionate girl. You know, I'm so sweet. I'm over all the time. What do you need, honey? You need a foot rub? You need this, need that? Let me tell you something. That's fun. And a guy's going to accept that. And he's going to roll with that. But what is he going to do? He's going to chew you up. He's going to spit you out. And he's going to say, hey, thanks for that. That was really nice. But there's just no chemistry. There's that extra feeling, that extra mojo that I needed in the relationship. And how many times does that happen to you, girls? Probably all the time. What you don't get is that we want to turn bitches into wifey type. That's what we truly want. That's who we're really going to fall in love with. The girl that makes it hard. The girl that's independent. The girl that's doing her own shit. The girl that knows her own value. The girl that does not allow us in very quickly. The girl that takes her time and makes sure that we're not fucking around. That's the girl that we're going to fall in love with.
Men love mean women. Mean women, very mean women. And when I say mean women, I mean women that are mean to men. Men love them. Because one thing that makes you priceless as a lady is the fact that you are not easy to get. That is every man's pride. If you are easy and accessible to every man, trust me, you are not a high value woman. When any man can call you, chat you up, meet with you, any call, every lounge, everywhere, they keep seeing you with different men. Trust me, you are not a high value woman if you are that woman. Men love mean women that are hard to get. Because they believe that, okay, if she's this mean to me, if she likes me a bit, it means she's real, she's for real. She doesn't pick calls, but if she pick my own calls, it means she likes me. That is how to be a high-value woman. So, ladies, when next a man come to ask you out, put him on a very strained pedestal. Make it very strict. In fact, give him rules that, okay, once it's 9 p.m., I don't pick calls because I'll be sleeping. Or, okay, once it's 8 a.m., I'll be in the office working. I won't have time. You can call me from 5 to 7 or 8. Give him rules. And abide to those rules. That is when he will respect you. That is when he will know that you are high value. Not that a man will feel that, okay, you're that lady he can call anytime he's bored. And then he will call you to come over and you start rushing to his place. Become a high value woman by being mean to men. Be mean to them. That's what they like. Men don't like a nice woman that is smiling with every man on the street. No, they don't. Put in measures, put in boundaries. That is how to become a high-value woman.
There we go, guys. You just heard it from all these ladies and gentlemen here. Why men love bitches and hoes? First of all, men don't love and they don't want those nice and good girls. Men want women who use their femininity, feminine women. women who use their strength, their brains, their minds. And then another thing is that these men don't want these nice and good girls because they expect these bitches and hoes. For example, if the so-called bitches, and by saying bitches, I don't mean, you've just heard it from this guy who was trying to explain from this book why men love bitches. And the explanation that he gave out is that a bitch is not such, the way people normally term it, as a bad girl. A bitch is a woman who is using her own femininity. She is using her strength, her brain, her mind. These are the kind of women that these men want. Because these men don't want a